What's up, everyone? My name is Colby, and welcome to Serial Killer Gaming on YouTube. In today's video, I am actually doing an unboxing that I did back in October of 2019. I was actually going through my computer, cleaning it out, and I found the unboxing video for this that I had never put on the channel. So I thought I'd go ahead and clean up the video and put it on the channel so you all can see this awesome game. This game was created by Blacklist Games. Adam and Brady Sadler actually made this game, and you probably know them. They've made games such as Heroes of Tyrannoth, as well as The Walking Dead No Sanctuary, and that's just two of the many games that they have made. They've done Brook City. They're coming out with Alter Quest. They've got a lot of stuff out there, and their games are awesome. This uses their modular deck system, and this game is probably one of my favorites, and so I felt like everybody needed to see what this game was about. And so with that, I wanted to go ahead and put the video up. Since I recorded this back in October, I've made a lot of upgrades to my recording studio. And so there's going to be some things in it. It's going to be choppy, and I apologize for that, but I really wanted to get this video out. One thing I did do in this video that I'm going to do differently in my next videos is when it comes to the models, I just kind of cut down the clips and made them a lot smaller. That way the video was a little shorter. But besides that, that's enough talking from me. If you like the video, please hit the like, hit that subscribe button so you know whenever my next videos are going to be coming out. I'm going to have a lot more coming out in the next couple of weeks. I also have quite a few unboxings that I'm wanting to do, so stay tuned for those. And without any further ado, let's go ahead and take a look at what's in the box. As you can tell, the artwork for this game is awesome. It's got that real Street Fighter Double Dragon just kind of feel to it, and it's just really cool. I really like the way that they've done this box, and the Sadler Brothers and Blacklist Games always do really good artwork on all of their games. If you haven't checked out Brook City, you need to look at that as well. The artwork for that game is awesome. But anyway, here is the box, and so the box is 12 inches by 12 inches, and it is 4 inches deep. And as you can see, each side has some of the different fighters on it. So it's really cool that they added all of these fighters to the box. Just a really cool way to do it. And then when you flip it over, you will see that it tells you all the information about the game, what it plays like, and then kind of gives you a picture of the board as well as all of the cards. Shows you some of the models and the tokens and boards and cards that come within the game. And right here, I'll go ahead and read this real quick since it is hard to read. But it says Street Masters is a 1 to 4 player miniatures board game that includes over 65 highly detailed miniature figures. The game combines the concept of a tactical combat board game with the flexibility of an intricate card game. Acclaimed designers Adam and Brady Sadler have developed a streamlined system that focuses on modularity and action, with fighters, bosses, rivals, allies, and stages forming a sandbox for players to mix and match, creating their own epic showdowns. The game offers both an action-packed arcade mode where players completely customize their experience with any combination of fighters, bosses, and stages, as well as a narrative campaign story mode, where the fighters' victories, defeats, and choices help unravel the lore of the game. In story mode, victory means helpful perks, while defeat inflicts dangerous penalties. And so that's really cool that they added all that. I've always loved these types of video games, and so be able to have this on a board game, it's just really cool. And we will go ahead and take a look at what is in the box. You will get 64 miniatures, 4 double-sided map tiles, 6 fighter decks, which are 25 cards per fighter with 150 cards total, 8 stage decks, so 21 cards per stage, and that's 168 cards total, 4 enemy decks, so 21 cards per enemy, and that's the Golden Dragons, the Brotherhood, and the Cartel. that has 38 cards for the kingdom, and it is a total of 101 cards total. Then you have 108 story cards, 22 card dividers, 243 tokens, 8 custom dice, 12 ally and rival cards, 30 loot cards, 13 snap-on bases, and 4 turn cards. So there is a lot in this box. I mean, it is just incredible everything they have put in here. So with that being said, let's go ahead and open up the box and see what's inside. And the first thing you will see whenever you open up the box, you will find on top the rulebook. And so the rulebook itself is 16 pages, and it's got a lot of great details and all of the information that you're going to need to be able to play the game. And it's broken down into really good sections. Kind of lets you know about each different card, what they do. It lets you know how to set the game up, what the threat area is, and that is just pretty much, it explains everything for the game. And the great thing about it is only 16 pages. And so with that, you don't have to worry about having to fumble through a big rule book all the time to try to get all of the information that you're going to need. It's all just right here in one book, and it's really a pretty good rule book, to be honest with you. And then when you remove the rule book out of the box, you will find a sheet of tokens. And the tokens that are on this sheet, you have some of your ally and rival tokens. Then here in the top left corner, you have got your crate tokens. Just below that, you have got your objective tokens. And then right here, you have some of your defense and power tokens. And as you can tell on the defense power tokens, there are different symbols. And the symbols are for punch damage, for kick damage, and for grapple damage. And within this game, blocking damage is an important part of the game. And so what happens is you gain defense tokens through various game effects. Defense tokens come in 3 types, corresponding to the 3 main types of damage. So you've got punch, you've got kick, and then you've got the grapple. And the defense tokens are spent to block incoming damage of that matching type. And I will show you all of those types on the dice. And then fighters have the option to spend defense tokens to block the incoming damage. However, if it's the enemy that has the tokens, the defense tokens, they must be spent to block the incoming damage. And so an enemy can't suffer damage of a certain type if they actually have one of these tokens of that type on their player card. So you have to use the defense first before you can attack him. And then each time a fighter blocks a point of damage, the fighter will gain what is called a power token. And so what you would do is just flip the defense token over, and it would turn into one of the power tokens. And once you get a certain amount of power tokens, you can power up your character and kind of do, I guess you could consider it their special move. And so under that, you will find some of the boards for the game. And each board is completely different. And as you can tell, this is one board. So that is all that you're going to be using. It's a foot by a foot, so it has a pretty small footprint. And all of these little symbols that are on the board, I know they are probably a little hard to see. And I just kind of zoomed in just a little bit to help you be able to see what all of the different symbols are on these boards. And so right here, you will see that that is going to be the boss start space. And so this is where the boss figure is going to be placed during the setup phase of the game. And then these little joysticks right here, that is the fighter start space. And so that's each fighter figure must be placed on one of the spaces during the startup phase. And so this is where you're going to put the character that you are playing as. Then you've got these little crate spaces, and so you would put one crate token there. And then you have the objective spaces, which is going to be like right here you can see the blue cog and then the red cog. And those spaces are typically where objective tokens will interplay during the game. The objective tokens do not always start in play, but will enter through playthrough depending on the stages and the effects of what is going on in that stage. And then right here, you will see these little spots. What those are entry spaces. And so when a minion enters play, it'll always enter the map on the entry space nearest to the fighter that drew the minion's card. And so as you can tell, there's 4 different spots for the minions to pop up in on the board. And then you will see just these funky little different symbols right here, and those are stage-specific icons. So many stages introduce unique icons that have specific rules. The effects of these icons can be explained on the cards in the associated stage deck. So as you're playing through the game and you're flipping over the cards, it will tell you what each of these symbols are for. And the great thing about these boards is every single one of them are double spaced. And as you can tell, there's different symbols right here, and that is a stage specific symbol. So that is one of the boards. And then right under that, you have another one, which is going to be another area to fight on, and then yet again another one. And so there is a lot of different ways to play this game. Once you remove that, you will find another set of the defense and power tokens. Under that, you will find another board, and then you guessed it, you flip it over, and there is another map for you to play on. Under that, you will find some new tokens. And these tokens that we have here are obviously the damage tokens. And so you will use these to mark whenever somebody gets damage. And there are 1s, 5s, 10s, and 25s. And so there are plenty of tokens to be able to take care of everything. Right under that, you will see another playing board. And then you flip that over. And so, as you can tell, you have a lot of variety for this game. There are a crap load of different areas that you can play on, and different scenarios and different things you can do. And so that is great that they put that much detail into this game. Let's go ahead and look at some of the cards themselves. So here you will find that each stage has its own deck, and on the back of it you will have artwork of the map for that stage. So let's go ahead and take a look at the original copy stage. And the artwork is just awesome, very cool, very detailed. And then at the top, it'll tell you what kind of card it is. This one is an event card, and event cards are taken care of as soon as they are pulled, and then it gives you all of the information that you will need to be able to activate that card. This is the stage setup. When you flip it over, you will find the stage rules, and so each stage has its own rules and has its own way of playing. So it's really cool that they did that for the game, so each stage is completely different. And so after that, you will find that you have the character cards. And right up here in the top right, it shows the name. This is Brandon. Right here, it shows that he has 20 points of damage that he can take. And then here, you will see that it says this is the charge or power tokens that he must get to be able to activate his special ability. Right below that, you will find the type of damage that he does, and he does punch damage. Below that, you have the name of his basic attack, and then the action that that basic attack does. And so for Brandon, it is attack with 1 red die. Then you may reveal 1 card from your hand and resolve its combo effect. Now, when Brandon gets enough power, he will flip over and become more powerful. And right here, you see the name of his attack changes to the Dragon's Reach, and he attacks with 3 red die. And then you may reveal each card in your hand and resolve the combo effect of each card revealed. Then flip this card. And so each character is completely different. Like Kairyu, I know I really messed that up, But down here, his attack is 2 red die. And after this attack, gain 1 power for each Tempest card you control. And Tempest cards are part of each player's, or certain players' decks. So whenever you are playing through the game, you will have Tempest cards that you can have in your hand. So the more you have in your hand, the more power you will gain. When you become charged up, it says Unleash the Storm. Attack with 3 red die. This attack may target up to 3 different enemies within 4 spaces of you. And then flip this card. So each character is completely different. And again, I mean, the artwork is just spectacular. So below that, we will find that there is cards for one of the factions or one of the affiliations. So let's go ahead and take a look at those. These are the cards for the story deck. So if you are playing through a story, that will be the cards that you use there. Here you have your reference card for the kingdom. It gives you the setup rules if you pick this affiliation to fight against. And on that card, it says randomly choose 1 boss character. And as you can tell, there are 3 different boss characters for this affiliation. You have got the Jackal, and with the Jackal, obviously it has the name in the top right. And something real interesting about enemies in this game, or bosses, is it says 30p on the health. That means that the Jackal has 30 points of health per player. So if you're playing with 3 people, the Jackal has 90 points of health. Right below that, you will see that the Jackal will attack with 3 dice. And then down here, it explains the setup for the Jackal and when the Jackal is activated, what will happen. It shows that the Jackal is a boss. And so you have that. Then you will have the regular deck that will be used throughout the game. And again, the artwork is just wicked. Each of the characters, or excuse me, each of the bosses has their own event decks that you will use. And then here are some of the minions. So right here, this tells you the name of the character. So it's the marionette doll. And then right next to it, you will see these little dots. And as you can tell, there's a lot of different colors for those. What that is those little clips that I showed you earlier. That's where those come into play. So you will put those on the bases for the minions that are in the game. Then it's just like all the rest of the cards. You have got the health, how many dice they roll, what type of defense tokens they will start with, and for Marionette Doll, it will be 1 punch token per player. And then it has the activation of how the Marionette Doll will activate. So everything's real self-explanatory in the game, which makes it really nice. And that's all the cards I'm going to show because I don't want to give away too much detail or ruin anything for anybody. So with that being said, let's go ahead and take a look at the models that are in the game. And now that we've taken a look at the other components in the box, let's go ahead and get to the fun part. Let's go ahead and take a look at the models. And the first one we're going to look at here is the hero model of Brandon. After Brandon, we have got Gabriel, Kyoryu, I know I said that wrong. And then we have Megan. And then we have Natalia. And last one is, I'm just going to go ahead and show the card because I cannot say the name. And so that's the heroes that are within the game. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the villains. Dimitri, that's what he looks like. And then this is his model. And I know that's a little blurry, but there you go. And then here is his model. Along. This is his model. Then you've got the Shadow and his model. Again, with the in the wind and just the detail is spectacular. The Jackal. And here is her model. And then the last one, and it's Kimono. And there he is. I just love the detail that Blacklist puts into their models. They do such a great job with all of them. Now that we have looked at the heroes and the bosses, let's go ahead and take a look at some of the minions. This is Anastasia. Then this is her model. And again, just awesome detail. And like I said, I love how each model has a different stance. And the minion models, there are 5 of each model. They all look the same, but that's kind of why you have the clips that go on the bases of the models, because as you can see, there's different colors for each minion, so you know the differences of each model, and you can tell them apart while you're playing the game. After her, we will take a look at Boris. And he's just a big dude, as you can tell by the model itself. And then we have got Drago, and he's just nothing but muscle. I mean, this dude is huge. We will take a look at Ignacio. Here is his model. The next one we have got is Tyrone. And here is his model, is Lucille. And so this is her sculpt. Is Jin, and there it is. The next one is Dao. So there you go. There is Dao Wan Bo. So taking a look at his picture, here is the sculpt. Is the marionette doll. This is her sculpt. The power soldier. And there is his sculpt. And then the last model is going to be the Mountain General. And here he is. But there it is. And that is all of the models that come in the base game for Street Masters. And there you have it. That's Street Masters by Blacklist Games. There are a lot more expansions for this game, but I didn't try to do those because there is a lot of content, and I want to leave some stuff for you to be able to open on your own if you do decide to get this game and get some of the expansions. But as you can tell, the components are awesome and of great quality. If you played this game, what do you think of it? Me and my wife absolutely love it. It's one of our favorite games. It's easy to set up, it's quick to set up, and it's fun to play. You never play the same game twice, and I love that. And with that being said, if you like this video, please hit that like button. Please hit that subscribe button so you know when my next videos are coming out. And leave me a comment. Tell me what your favorite model was or what you liked about this video. If you've played the game, what do you like about the game? What don't you like about it? Let's talk about it and let's have some fun. But until next time, thank you all so much for stopping by. I hope you have a great rest of your day and happy gaming. Bye-bye.